We made this ad, and it failed in market. So
okay, I know I would have bet on that.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay. So moving on to the second ad from August T. And Barry, I don't know if you know this, but we made this ad, and it failed in market. So
okay, I know I would have bet on that.
Oh my God.
Wow. Okay.
Just from that, Barry? Just from the...
No, I've already watched this ad. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I did my research.
Just to add some additional stats, click-through rate 0.8, thumb stop is decent, hold rate is below par, I would say. So let's get into this, and would love to hear your thoughts in particular. I'm sure we have our own thoughts as well.
Step one, put the text on the top. You didn't even press play yet. Move the text to the top.
Okay.
I'll tell you
hold your horses. Hold your horses.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had real tea? I'm talking about tea that fills your senses like a breakfast in a Roman cafe. Tea that takes you places. That gets you riding high in the saddle at dawn. That feels like you're wearing a crown of flowers. That puts you in the Milky Way at full bloom. That beckons you for an adventure like the mouth of the Amazon River. Tea that reminds you of those deep rooftop conversations in the city. If your tea doesn't do that, it's not real tea. Our blends are carefully crafted to bring you the best tea experience possible. Welcome to August Tea. Where do you want to go?
Have you ever taken a sip of tea and it reminds you of some far off place? August Tea straight up takes me there. It's like a tea experience that I've never had.
Okay, go easy on us, Barry.
No, I won't. Step one, move the text to the top. That'll at least get more people to pay attention to the hook, especially as it's the first place typically I expect people to see as they're scrolling into frame on Instagram feed or Facebook. It's the first thing that comes in, and that question, have you had real tea? If that's an engaging enough hook question, that it'll work better on the top than on the bottom. So that's just step one. You'll see a lot of ads do that, and a lot of like memes have the text on the top.
Sure.
There's a lot of reasons why that works, and people easily know how to understand it subconsciously. Yep. Overall, like I want it, I have to say something kind of mean, which is like this bit here, the breakfast in a room. I thought this was going to be a parody. I thought this was so exaggerated. You're wearing a flower crown. I thought was literally that was when the record scratch was going to come in and it was going to punch me in the face with well, this isn't your grandmother's tea. I thought that's what was going to come in. Yep. And that would have been great. But yeah, I mean, it's a little too exaggerated.
Yep.
I think if you want to go even more exaggerated into the realm of parody, I think that'd be fun. Yeah. But I don't think that would be good here. I don't know if anyone cares about those things and relates them to tea. And sure. I certainly don't think anyone cares about the name of different tea blends. Right. So that's what I would say is not good. The thing that I do like is that you keep kind of going with it and you go into that testimonial towards the end. Mm-hmm. I think that was good. But also some of those shots, like that second shot, if you just go back to the beginning, the first shot of whoever that is not a good shot. Like you lost my attention. This 100%. Is good. This is not good. This makes me think this person is sick, has a cold, and is drinking like soup or tea, but for some reason also has a full face of makeup on.
Okay. So I am not going to defend this ad at all, but the reason why I wanted to put this in here is just to remind people that, you know, like at Fireteam, we pride ourselves on creative and making good ads, but like they're not all winners.
No.
And you do have to test stuff out, and we put a lot of duds into market like all the time. But the point is to like, if that happens, go back into it and see if it can be fixed or why. I think from our point of view here is that this ad really flipped into non-native super quickly. Like, you know, have you had real tea? People, you know, the thumb stop's all right. Maybe people want to know what real tea is. And then it's like, hello, here comes the ad. And
I think it started even before even the very first thumb stop. That's not native. That's just and the condensation is weird. I don't like the condensation.
This could be native in terms of like, there's like those educational style videos that are kind of belong on platform and are native, and that I consider that part of the native bucket. So I'll give you that.
I guess paired with the VO, which I have a lot of problems with this VO, and there's a weird point also where it cuts weird and it doesn't feel real. It feels acted, which sometimes you can get away with acted, but yeah, I mean, the vignettes are probably too long. They are stock, which is weird. You also kind of don't know what they mean. They're too long, but they're also going too fast for you to really internalize what the mouth of the Amazon River means. It's a lot. It's a lot. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of not even saying anything almost, because it's saying so much. I'm getting nothing from it.
Right. It's too high concept for like a direct response ad. And I feel like there's a certain point, particularly like at scale, when you're doing a lot of stuff where there is a group of people that might appeal to something like this that's high concept. Not everyone needs like super native all the time. But this brand is not there at all to use something that generally doesn't work to try and like unlock, you know, some profitable dollars. So it definitely, it's too high concept. The Milky Way at full bloom. This feels like a copywriter is like patting themselves on the back here.
Can you go back a couple frames? What was before this one? Before Flower Crown, what's before that? So I like, okay, that one. This one's good, right? And then you lost me. Like if I was going to do this again, at least in this premise, I would maybe throw away the full premise, but like show me like 3 other great places I would drink tea that would be like, you know, I would be would make me feel nice, you know, on the lake at sunset, or you know, or on the rooftop at sunset. They're always at sunset for some reason.
What about those conversations, deep rooftop conversations?
There you go. Oh, that's where I was inspired by. But like, yeah, give me more of those realistic settings that really touch my heart. And that shot didn't do it for me. But you know, I think that there is some way you could make that relatable. I don't know if it's still really going to be carrying a lot in terms of actual ad performance, but it would be a better way to do that.
I think the problem here is that we've given this ad a brief, and we know the brief, and the customer doesn't know the brief. Like, we understand that because we made this, that, you know, each of those tea blends is supposed to be connected to a specific place, and that's the point. But that is not communicated at all, I think, or it does not come through at all in the actual watching of the ad back. So yeah, I think we can fall into that really easily, where if we come up with something high concept and we kind of know the brand and we understand what the founders are trying, what they're intending, you know, we come up with something, but then it can sometimes be really hard to actually make it, you know, come to fruition.
Was that direction from the client or like guidance from the client? It was like, hey, like, oh, you know, this tea blend is like this and is inspired by this. And did they want that, or did you guys decide to do that?
This is literally written on the packaging of the blends.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of this language is from. But
I fall in these traps a lot too, where I'm like, I take what the client says is good and makes sense, and there's sometimes you got to put up a firewall, firewall, and realize like, hey, where's the line of stuff that belongs on the landing page PDP, but should never, ever get brought into an ad, which in my opinion, it's that. Nobody who doesn't know your brand or your product, nobody cares about that. And so just do not let that stuff sneak into your ads. It's just not helping anyone.
The other thing that's worth noting about this one in our attempts to fix it is that we discussed different ways to maybe fix it, but at the end we didn't settle on anything that we liked or thought was worth the effort, so we just moved on. There's always another attempt.
I would agree with that. And I just want to also echo what you said earlier. I can crap on this ad only because I have had significantly worse failures than this one. I need to try and find some that I can share, because I have had put much worse ads into the world than this one.
So wait.
Yeah, right. And look, that's why we're good at. I think it's fair for us to say we're good at this because we've failed a lot.